What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me again here on Digital Renovations. Today we're going to be looking at how we can build a file organizer. So something a little bit different for us here today. We're going to just be looking at what files exist within a folder and then filtering them based on the file type. And we're going to make some folders based on those file types and move the files in there. It's going to learn about how we can identify file extensions. We're going to learn how we can make folders. We're going to learn how we can move files. We're going to learn a little bit about the OS library. So let's start things off. We'll start with a bit of basic scaffolding here. So let's import OS. So the OS library comes built in. We can simply ask it to do things for us. Like we go def main, obviously we won't run it yet. From there we'll be able to go file list to grab a list of all the files that exist within our directory. We're just going to specify, hey, look in the directory. So we'll go os.list and we're going to say look in this directory. So you can put in whatever you want there. We're going to say this one, so that's a relative path. / just means look here. Then we're going to print out what we find. So we're going to print file list. Perfect. All right, so while we're doing that, I'm going to quickly realize there's nothing in that folder and move things across secretly through the power of movie magic. But there's things there now. So let's save this and we'll give it a run and see what happens. So we'll go Python file organizer.py and we'll run that. We can see that we've got an assortment of Python files, text files, JPEGs, PNG, so just a bit of a hodgepodge of files for us to take a look at. And awesome, now we can see everything that exists within that folder. Let's look at identifying our file types. So to do this, we're going to go looking through our list of things in the folder, and we're going to split everything by the dot. So we've got .txt, .py, .text, .jpg, .py. We're going to look for everything following the dot. Well, actually, we're just going to take each thing in that list and say, make more things. Make a thing with a name before and a file type after. So let's jump in here and we're just going to loop through that. So we're going to for file, so we're going to look at each file in file list, which is our list that we've created. I'm going to say, we're going to grab a file detail, which is actually going to be a file name. No, we're going to say the file detail is file.split at the dot. And that means that file detail as a variable is going to have its own list. It's going to have two things in it, a file name and a file type. So we will say file name is equal to file detail 0, because we can't start counting our lists at 0. And file type is going to be the second element in there, element 1, which is going to be file detail 1. Then we're going to print it out to make sure it's working. So I'll say print, and we'll do an F string, so that means we can stick variables in here. We're going to say file name is a file type file. We'll save that. Let's run it again and see what happens. All right, so we see our list appeared as normal. You can see birthdays, OS, I can't type, OS a PY file, we've got text file, we've got JPEG files. We've got a lot of good files in here. Now, what happens if we put something that doesn't have a file type in there? So let's do a little bit of movie magic here again. I'm going to quickly make a folder in that directory. It's going to be called new folder because we're in Windows and that's what it calls them. We'll run it again. Oh, we can see we've got an error now. Saying, hey, I'm trying to run main. Hey, file detail 1 doesn't exist. List index out of range. So it's saying, hey, I can't count to 1 because once I go past 0, there's nothing there. Nothing. Nothing. That's because folders don't have a dot whatever file type. So let's fix that. We're going to do that fairly easily. We're just going to do a quick check after we try and do our split. We'll just say, hey, if file detail, no, sorry, well, yes, but not quite. We'll say if length of file detail is 2, so if there's 2 things in there, then we do this stuff. All right, let's run it again. No more errors. So we've successfully managed to, in doing that, ignore the folders. We're not trying to arrange folders here. We could, but we're looking at how we can arrange things based on file type. Folders don't have a file type, so we're not trying to organize those right now. So now we can start looking at how we would make a folder for each file type that we've found. And the easiest way to do this is going to be, let's just create them as we find them. So there's going to be a catch with that, and that's if we have 2 different files with the same file type. Every time we find another one, we're going to say, oh, hey, we've already got a folder called .py. I think we've got a couple of Python files in there. So we'll hit birthdays.py and create a py folder, and then it'll say, oh, challenges.py. I've already got a folder for that. So we're going to implement a try and accept statement workflow, and we're going to look at how we can make a make a folder with the OS make does function. So let's stop talking. Let's start typing. So we've got our length check here. Now instead of doing this, printing this out here. Let's say we're going to try something. What are we going to try? We're going to say try os.make does, make a directory. We're going to pass in file type. So we're going to make a folder with whatever the file type is. Now it's saying it doesn't like the word try. That's because we don't have an accept yet. So handle exceptions. So we're going to say accept. We'll go file exists error. Which I know it says file, it'll work with folders. So if it goes, hey, I've already made this folder, what do we want to do? We'll just say print folder found. So we'll know that, hey, we don't need to do anything with this. Also just do a general error handling. So we'll go accept, exception is E. And then if that happens, so if anything goes wrong trying to make that folder beyond hey, that already exists, we'll just say print, we'll do an F string, say error, and then we'll just dump out whatever E is, because E is going to be our exception code that comes up. And that way we'll be able to see what that is. Then once we've done that, we're going to print file, so we know what we've handled. And then we're going to use a rename function. So So we will use os.rename. Now rename is a bit weird. I mean, we're trying to move something, not trying to rename it, okay? But the funky thing with the OS library's rename function is that you can include a directory while renaming it. So in doing that, we could change the name of the file, but all we're going to do is add a directory in front of it. So we go os rename. We're going to use an F string, and we're going to say /. So from here, we want to create we want to move file. We're going to take it from that 2, we got another f string, and we'll say dot slash oh, am I getting this right? Dot slash file type slash file. And so that's what we're renaming it from. We're renaming it to. So we're starting from here and we're going to here. Save that and let's run it. Alright, perfect. So we have our list. We've found our files. So we've moved this one, we've moved this one. We've seen that we've already got a folder called Python. We've moved for Python. We've challenges.py. Oh cool, we've found another text file with that folder's there, and then we've moved the text file. So if we go into our directory now and say ls, we can see there's a JPEG, PNG, a Python, and a text file. We can also see that up here we've got an error because we've moved that Python file. So if we now go cd into py, ls, we can see that we've actually moved the file we were running in order to organize all our files. So I think in that way we've nailed it. So there's a few other ways to move files. So you got the shutil library. When we're already using the OS library, I don't see a reason to import another one, aside from the fact that os.rename is a bit of a confusing naming structure. But otherwise, I think it's fantastic. So look, we've created a way to organize our files. If you found this helpful, please drop a like, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you want to keep up to date with what's going on. Hit the bell icon if you're particularly enthusiastic about it. And until next time, have a good one.